if you can, the window a little bit, please.
All right, guys. Hey, it's Colton Lindsay here with the Young Hustlers. We got Bryan, Cassela, Mida here with another episode on our Mastermind. So, AJ, Bryan,
what's up?
What's the good news for this last week?
Go ahead, AJ.
I'll tell you what's up. I keep spelling Bryan's name wrong. That's what's up, and I feel like a D-bag.
I know, man. I'm losing referrals, man. What's going on?
I know everyone's searching Cassela to find them in California for referrals, and they can't find them.
Freak, dude. Some other dude's getting them all.
No, things are good. I got another listing this week. I got another buyer in escrow, closed another deal, so things are picking up. The market here, like we've been talking about, it's just been blowing up. Any property you put on at a good price is just getting snatched immediately. I even, that condo I was telling you guys about and by the beach, I got an offer on it within a week. And the average days on market there, I think, is, even in that market, it's a little bit higher. I believe it's like 30, 45. But, if you price it on the money, it just flies. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're having a pretty good week. Bryan inspired me to go door knocking on Mondays, and on the first contact, I got a really hot lead. As long as they decide to sell, they already purchased a new home, so if they sell, they'll be listing with me, it sounds like. And we got one under contract, a listing, and we're negotiating for one of our buyers right now, and negotiating on one of our listings. So potentially 3 under contract by the end of this weekend for the week.
Awesome.
Nice. That's a good week. So I signed 2 listing contracts this week and 2 buyer contracts this week, and wrote up 1 buyer offer.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. We got Kevin kind of up and rolling. And even for the first of next week, I was looking at my calendar. I got like 3 or 4 listing appointments on my calendar for the first of next week already.
Nice. You said 3 or 4? 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 to 4. I can't remember exactly.
Nice, man.
I don't know where my calendar went here.
Dude,
I'd like to. I sold all my stuff. Dude, I'm in Utah. We're having snowstorms.
Are you really?
Are we there? We good? Am I back?
We just can't see you. We can hear you, but we can't see
good.
you.
Bryan can see me. I think it's just you have a cataract in your eye.
I can see Bryan. It's all right. Just keep going.
Yeah, so next week is the 20th, right? Yeah, so I got 1, 2, 3 listing appointments for sure on my calendar for the first of next week. So that's good.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Okay, so I think kind of our topics today, correct me if I am wrong, is going to be talking about our big why and what caused breakthrough in our business, and maybe even something to spin off of that, what can we do to cause more breakthroughs in our business? Is that kind of the gist of it today?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited to hear about the basketball player and what caused him to just explode into this business as such a young, not only young as an individual, but young as far as time in the business. I mean, you kind of just started and just crushed it. So what did it for you, Bryan?
When I've talked to a lot of people about it. When I decided to stop playing basketball, it was basically because of injuries. I had 2 procedures on my ankle. I mean, I make a joke with everybody. I say I've been under the knife more than a Beverly Hills housewife. So after that, it just weighed on me mentally, and I said, okay, it's time for the next chapter. And there was about a 6-month period where I was trying to figure it out. I was back in the States, and I couldn't really find anything that made me happy. And as I started looking into more entrepreneurial type things, which I knew would fit me the best, I just magically stumbled across real estate, and I had seen something that a friend of mine posted on Facebook. I think it said, in your first year, make $100,000 or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I clicked and read about it a little bit, and of course, that was a childhood friend, so I reached out to him and I said, hey man, I'm thinking about maybe getting into real estate. Could you give me some more information? And within 5 minutes, his dad, who was the broker, my previous broker calls and says, hey, come on in, we'll talk. So the minute I went in and I started talking to him, I realized quickly, based on what he was telling me, that I had something in my hands that was basically like basketball. You know, it was, you're going to get what you put in. And I figured that I connected the dots immediately, and I said, hey, you know, this is going to be tough, but I know through my road with basketball, I've gone through the same things. This is just, instead of athletics, it's business. It's learning and applying what someone else is telling me who's already gone through the journey. So I said, hey, you know, there's a huge, huge opportunity here. And that's basically how it was. Tied into, you know, the breakthrough is when I started, I believe it was at the 2-week mark that I got my first listing. And it was just me getting out there like crazy. I think when I started, I was doing like minimum at least like 60 or 70 contacts a day. I was just an animal. I was just going door to door, cold calling, for sale by owners, expireds, my database. I mean, everybody in sight. I'd get gas, and I would talk to everybody, even the other people pumping their gas. I was like, hey, I'm in real estate. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell right now? And I was just all over the place. And the breakthrough for me was I didn't really get anything in the first 2 weeks. I got a few, you know, soft leads, but nothing really, really concrete or somebody ready to do something now. So the minute, I remember my first deal was an absentee owner. I was just doing circle prospecting. I get this guy, he's like, hey, yeah, you know, I want to sell this property. I end up setting the appointment. The next day I go, I list it, and I was like, wow, like it can really be that easy. And 3 days later, I got my second listing. Same thing, just circle prospecting on the phone. I get a guy that's hot. Next day, I list it. You know, I sell it immediately. And the breakthrough for me was, you know, in those first 2 weeks, I was almost doubting the system and saying, man, maybe this doesn't work, or what am I doing wrong? But the minute I just started getting business like that, and I got that first listing, it really helped cement in my mind the activities that I'm doing is going to lead me to not only get lucky, I guess, in those moments and getting those people that are just easy and ready, but also set the foundation for the future. Now, from those first 2 weeks, within that first 2-3 months, I ended up listing or getting a buyer side from about 3 people, I think. So in the first couple of months, I was already closing a few deals, and I got a lot of momentum. So, you know, the main breakthrough for me was that. It was just, you know, stick to the system and really believe that it's going to work. You know, it might take some time, but eventually all your actions is going to pay off. And, you know, and that's basically tying into the beginning is just I saw a huge, huge opportunity, and I noticed a lot of agents and people who were in the business weren't attacking it with that like ferocity, like I want to get a deal and I want to be the best. And I just came in, I started role playing like an hour or two every day, just going over, just obsessing about being like the best agent. And I think ultimately that's what really helped me succeed quickly, was just, you know, outworking everybody else. You know, I still have people, like we talked on other masterminds, reach out to me. It's the only reason I'm outperforming most people is I practice more than they do, and I talk to more people every day than they do. That's the bottom line. There's no magic pill or magic marketing tool. It's just I'm talking to 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times as many people a week than they are, and I'm practicing 5, 6, 7 times as much as they are. So of course I'm going to get better results. And that's basically what it is. You know, I connected the dots and said, here's a industry where I don't have to climb the ladder. I can immediately come in and separate myself by extreme effort, extreme dedication, mastering the basics, and then just taking it from there. And lastly, the main thing is I genuinely care about my clients. That's something I wanted to establish from the beginning. I'm here to provide great service, and I really, really care about the person that's in front of me. I'm not just here to make a buck. I really want to make a very unique experience for this person that I'm helping. So not only will I get referrals, but they'll say, hey, this guy in this business of real estate is legit. He knows his stuff. He's an expert, and he made the transaction smooth for me and great.
That's awesome.
Hey, Bryan.
What's up?
Can you see me on my screen?
No, I can see your pretty little picture with your faux hawk.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. I can't see my picture. I might be headless today.
Yeah, I guess you passed up the maximum for data on your plan, I guess, man.
Colton just got back from the gym too. I was hoping to see what he was wearing.
I want to see.
A little tank top or something.
I was wearing a little tank top.
I want to see those muscles glistening.
So, yeah, I can't really cancel out of it now or I'd kill the broadcast, so I guess we'll just roll with it. That's why we needed to check our what did you call it earlier, AJ?
I don't know, technology maybe.
Something like that. I can't remember what you called it. Hey,
Our
AJ,
equipment.
so what about you?
Yeah, well, to give a little background story, since Bryan talked a little bit about how he got into the business, I was actually about to launch a franchise of gyms with a friend of mine who was already currently operating gyms, and the weekend prior to going around to all the gyms in Charlotte to get a feel for what we wanted to do, is going to be kind of like a circuit type style gym. Um, I went four-wheeling and I actually ended up flipping the four-wheeler without a helmet on and breaking my leg. The whole four-wheeler actually landed on my leg. Thank God it wasn't my head, or I'd probably be dead, to be honest. So I broke my leg. It laid me up for the next few months, and during that time, I picked up Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. It was sitting on my shelf for probably a couple years and just had never read it. So I read that, and I saw the opportunity to run to be a real estate agent and run it like a business, because I was always interested in investing in real estate. So my goal was always to make a lot of money and then invest it, but I was going to do that through running another business, taking that profit, and then buying investment property. So I saw the opportunity in real estate, and I was like, man, I got to do this. So I got my license. My first year, which was 2013, I struggled. I started early February. I was doing all the prospecting that you're supposed to do, but I probably wasn't doing it very efficiently. I'd say my first few listings were probably overpriced because I really didn't know what I was doing. And for that whole year, I just stacked my listings. I just stacked them. And I remember going into December with about 20 listings. Then 2014 just blew up for me. I ended up selling 35 homes in my second year. Made great profit because it was really just myself and my wife helping me out as an assistant, part-time assistant. She's a full-time nurse. So really the breakthrough point for me was probably that summer around July. I sold a house that was listed for over $600,000, which is like twice the average in my market, and my average price last year was only $172, so way above my average price. And I got a great commission check from that. So it really just got me pumped up, made me prospect more, allowed me to stack all those listings, and I just had faith that the process was going to work because I was, following other people online, watching the Mike Ferry Superstar videos, those interviews, seeing guys like Bryan and like you, Colton, just kicking butt. So I just knew it was going to work. So I just kept grinding it out, and it paid off. And now we have that momentum to where I don't prospect as much as I used to, but we'll probably double the number of homes we sold last year, and I'm not working as much. So really it's just that early success. I think Bryan talked about it a little bit, closing those first couple deals. For me, it was that one big one since I wasn't really closing a lot. Then just early 2014 when I just started crushing it, just kept that momentum up, started having a lot of fun.
Nice. Hey, you guys still don't see me, huh? That sucks. I'm like so preoccupied about this. I don't know what to do. It's good because I was actually just picking my nose, so that's good. I was thinking about what really triggered me to just kind of go from being, I guess, average to a little bit above average in this industry. And, I had some success when I was younger in this business, and then I kind of got burnt out on it. And, I'd make 40, 50 grand a month, and then I'd go spend $1,400 on online gambling and, spend $2,000 out at the club one night or whatever. And I just kind of got burnt out of what I was doing. And I remember September 1st, 2011, I came home from, I don't even know what the hell I was doing that day. I was doing something at the office. Whoa! Whoa, there's technical difficulties on AJ's screen. You okay, AJ?
We had an explosion over here.
Dude, I thought there was an earthquake in North Carolina. I was like, shoot.
Dude, it was an explosion. No, I have my computer propped up on these books, so it's a little more level because I'm sitting in a chair, and I just smashed it trying to help you get your screen go live. I hope you got
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I totally forgot what I was doing. Okay.
Well, Colton, check the top of your screen. Scroll to the top of the screen, see if you can turn your camera on from there while I wreck your train of thought.
Turn camera off. Turn camera on.
There you go.
Oh, I'm back.
You're
I'm
back.
I can't pick my nose anymore.
See, I had to get your attention just to show you what to do.
Hey, I didn't check my equipment first. I'm sorry. Before I put my equipment on live, I needed to check it. Hey, so I came home from whatever I was doing that day. I think I was thinking I was working, or pretending to at least, and my wife made a Chinese dinner for us, like the noodles and the rice and the General Tso's chicken or whatever. And there was a fortune cookie, and I cracked that cookie open. It said, "Congratulations, Colton, you're going to be a daddy." And that was the first time where I was like, all right, I got to step it up, and I got to get to work, and I got to make it happen. And from there, it's just went to work.
That's awesome, man. That I'm sure having your first child will be a pretty big motivator.
Yeah, I think it was. What the hell is that noise? You got your maid there, Bryan, like cleaning something, or what's going on?
No.
You don't have anyone in the background vacuuming?
Nope. Nobody.
So, yeah, it's funny. I think we all have just something that kind of clicks for us and drives us.
How, since you're having another child at the end of this month, Colton, has that motivated you more?
It has, and this first quarter is the best quarter I've ever had in my career, and I think you know it's coming, and you just go to work, and everything you do is about your family. It's not about you, right? It's not about what you want in your life, and not that my wants have just changed. Now I want to have an exceptionally amazing life for my wife and daughters.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's. I don't have any children yet, but that's ultimately what I'm trying to set myself up for, is for when I do have children, so I can create that amazing life for them.
Yeah, but I see that twinkle in the eye with the way you have those pictures of those selfies with that puppy of yours. I know you've got some life for that bad boy. Yeah. It'll be soon. So, have you guys ever, though, since you kind of had your breakthrough, have you ever had slumps afterwards?
Yeah, definitely. For me personally, there's a direct correlation between my success and whether or not I'm reading good books, listening to good positive podcasts and stuff like Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, and working out. If I'm not feeding my mind daily with good stuff and working out and eating right, my production goes down and gets me in a funk. So when that happens, I immediately recognize it and get back to constantly reading, listening to podcasts, and working out.
Yeah, same with me. I remember right when I started, a few months in, I think it was the end of 2013, about October, November, I had gotten, since I started, I had gotten a wave of listings. I'd closed a lot. At one point, I think it was up to 5 or 6 pending, and I got comfortable. I stopped following my schedule as tightly. I was still prospecting, but not attacking it as, passionately as I was before. And I remember the beginning of 2014, I actually didn't close anything the first month or month and a half because I had closed a lot at the end of 2013. I'd put a few more deals together, but it was just a wave. And I had probably, I want to say $60,000 or $70,000 fall out of escrow in the first 4 to 5 weeks of 2014.
Ouch.
For whatever reason. But then I started thinking back. I'm like, this is my fault because I got lazy a few months ago or 2 or 3 months ago. So I absolutely had that slump, and it took me a while to regain that momentum, but it taught me a very valuable lesson. It said, hey, just because you have some stuff in the pipeline doesn't mean you can take time off or think, hey, I got it made. You have to really stay focused. And I'm almost glad that it happened because it really was almost like a reality check for me. And it said, hey, you got to be out there every day because just because you put a good deal together doesn't mean it's going to close. And I remember, too, it was about probably 2 or 3 listings. I double-dipped them all. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money. And they all fell apart, and this happened and that happened. It was all within like a week, too. I just dropped like $60,000, $70,000 out of escrow, and I wanted to pull my hair out. But I don't know if you guys noticed I used to have longer hair, but I pulled it all out.
I was going to say, it looks like you did.
Yeah, and, but like I said, it taught me a valuable lesson. So, it really goes back to the basics and what, AJ was saying. You find that rhythm. You're reading, you're listening to those audiobooks, you're prospecting, you have everything in place. And when you create that rhythm and you have everything going, things tend to keep flowing that way. And when you break that, that's when you'll start seeing problems. And I experienced that firsthand.
That, have you noticed, at least for me, the time that rhythm, that harmony breaks is when you probably have a lot of stuff under contract. You get complacent or comfortable, and instead of pushing that extra hour of prospecting on a Friday afternoon, you're taking off early, which is not a bad thing, but it's those little things that keeps you on top. And when you start taking out the little things, it can crumble as fast as it comes together. So I guess that's the pro and the con.
Yeah, yeah, totally, yeah. Once your pipeline gets fat, you like to sometimes maybe sit around a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's like when you get fat, you like to sit around a little bit. At least that's how I am.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I have a futon in my office.
Taking some naps.
Dude, I'm telling you, you guys want to sell more real estate? About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, take a quick 20-minute nap. You're ready to go the rest of the night.
The rest of the night.
That's true.
Yeah. So, what is your big why? We kind of talked about what turning point it was in our careers. What is your big vision of why you're doing this at the end of the day?
You want to go, Bryan?
No, go ahead. I think my story is probably going to be longer, so I'll go last.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, it's really creating a lifestyle of freedom. Ultimately, freedom to do the things I want, to spend as much time with my family as I want, to buy the things I want. So it's all about having more choices, more freedom. So in order to do that, you need to create a nice income for yourself, and eventually to create a passive stream of income. So my goal with real estate sales is to create a high income and take that money and invest it in real estate. So by the time I'm 35, if I choose to, I could stop selling real estate and basically live a very comfortable lifestyle off of my investment portfolio of income-producing property. So that's my ultimate goal. My ideal life would be to work as little as possible, to coach other people, and to have my investments producing income for me, and to have a nice big house on the lake with my family that I can enjoy, and hit the lake in the summer and snowboard in the winter.
And a jet ski on the lake, right?
Yeah, I got the jet ski, but I'm not on the lake yet. So yeah, it's just a life of freedom, man. And you need money to live a free life.
Yeah. I think originally for me, my why was to just make a lot of money and to have a nice lifestyle, which I do have. But ultimately what I found is it's not the why, the where I think I'll be one day anymore that drives me, but it's the being thankful for where I am right now that drives me. I think the older I get and the more I recognize how thankful I am just to be alive and be in an industry of positive-minded, self-driven individuals like yourself, and then to be able to create value for anyone that's in my life, then it's the more I focused on that, just creating value for anyone and everyone in my path, opportunities have just opened up to me. I mean, things like more transactions. People I've never even imagined working with are calling me up just because they've heard of how I do business, or things I'm doing with Bob Leffler and Fearless Agent, or starting with my website, winningtheinnergame.com. It's like you just create value, and opportunity just opens up to you. And I don't know that I'll ever not. I don't know if working is even real in my life anymore. Like, you have this thought that you don't want to go to work, and I guess I'll be honest, I don't really love calling for sell by owners. That to me is work. I've kind of that's a thing in the past, but you just get so excited about what you're doing, whether it's prospecting, whether it's presenting, whether it's coaching other people. It's just you get excited for that when you're so thankful for what you have. That's what I've noticed.
That's cool.
That's cool, man. With me, I always had a vision as a young kid. Of course, growing up from about age 10 till when I got into real estate, it was all basketball and sports. But I always had a vision of having my family name be a legacy and be remembered and be famous. And you know, I have vivid memories of when I was a kid, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but my family immigrated to this country from Argentina. And I remember, moments when I was young and hearing the story from my dad and my mom about the struggles we went through, and just having those memories as a kid of, barely having enough food to eat and stuff like that. And I remember telling myself at a very young age, whoever I pass this on to, or when I'm older, I'm never going to be in this position. I'm going to make sure that I'm able to take care of my brothers, my family, and always be that point of abundance in my family. And I remember making that decision clearly. I still have like a very clear image of that moment at night when we were eating dinner. I think I was probably like 8 or 7 years old. And I said, okay, I made the decision. I said, doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to make sure that I can provide for them no matter what. And that has really fueled me in the business, because even at moments like Colton was saying, where you don't want to call that for sale by owner, or things are happening that maybe you just don't have that internal motivation, that thought is always in the back of my mind. It's like, you know what, this isn't just me. This is a lot bigger than that. And that is really what fuels me every day. And the excitement has just been there from the beginning. I still have nights now where I go to sleep at 11 or midnight and I'm up by 3 or 4, just because I'm so ready to start the next day and really take advantage of every opportunity I'm getting. So, that would definitely be my big why, is just, be a point of abundance and be able to provide for everybody in my family. My parents are getting older. My mom just retired. My dad's about to retire in a year. I want to be able to say, hey, Mom, Dad, here, take a cruise. Pay $10,000, $20,000 cruise. Just little gestures like that. I want to be able to just do those things for everybody in my family. I still have all my family in Argentina. I would love to get them all on a plane and bring them over here. Now, if anybody listening to this has family or has been to other countries, you know how hard it is to get your visa. Now, if I have money, I can probably kick them a few bucks and get them over here with no problem. So, as I start to connect the dots in that sense, being able to provide and working hard and making that money will not only give me a great life, but it'll give me opportunities that other people don't have to provide for their loved ones and other people that are important to them. And that's really what drives me. I always have that thought in the back of my head. I have it written down on my board, the other board I have on the floor over here, and I'll post a picture of that. It's just really, those moments when I was young and saying, hey, I'm going to do whatever it takes to not have to experience this, or have my next generation, my kids, experience this, because it's not pretty, and if you guys have been there, you know what it's like. It's not pretty to barely have enough food to eat, or not have enough money to, get a toy that you want. So I always want to make sure that I'll do whatever it takes to be in a position to provide, and then get those things for myself and others that we always wanted.
Yeah. I think I've had that same kind of thing that you're talking about. I know one of my big things was I wanted to just be able to take my friends out and my family out and just pay for the tab, like just not even worrying about it, right? It's funny because I'll go to dinner with friends or with family, and how they shop on their menu is based on price, not based on what they want to eat.
Yep.
And to me, I shop, what do I want to eat, right? Here's what I want. I don't even look at what it costs until after the tab, right? And then I usually just hand them my credit card, and my wife's like chewing me out for not verifying that they didn't overcharge us or something, right? But it's like I want those people that are important to me, that I spend my time with, whether they're financially out of successful or not. I want them to feel comfortable with me, where, hey, you know what, get whatever you want. Don't even worry about it. Like, this is something I want to give to you, because I'm thankful for you being a part of my life, because I wouldn't be who I am without you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's so cool. I've had those exact same thoughts of going out to dinner with friends and being able to do stuff like that. A lot of what drives me financially too is just growing up. I was raised by a single mom, and we lived with her long-standing boyfriend, so really a stepdad to me from the time I was in like 3rd grade to 18. And all the arguments that I ever saw was because there was never enough money, So I saw hardship in my family because there wasn't enough money, and I made a decision very young, just like Bryan did, to say, when I get married, when I have a family, there will never be an argument over money. and I have that now, and we're not rich by any means. And before, early on in real estate, there was times when we didn't have much money, but there was never arguments over it just because of that mindset shift. And now I work the way I do, and I'm driven the way I am because I don't want that in my life. I mean, I think the divorce rate's like 52% now. Like, more people get divorced than stay married, and most of it's because of financial reasons, you know. So I don't want that burden for myself and for my family. So that really drives me.
Which is one thing too that I've been blessed with, in the sense of, okay, even though I earn a lot of money, I'm able to manage it well. I remember when I was 24, 25, I was earning a good chunk of change for, you know, a kid that age in Utah, and I would blow it so quickly. But now, you know, to get those mailbox checks coming in at the first of the month from rental properties or different investments, oh my gosh, that's like, it's pretty freaking cool to know that half of what your expenses are to live are covered just by checks flowing into you. That's a good spot to be in. It'd be sweet once the whole nut is covered. You know what I mean?
You're on your way.
I'm on my way.
We're all on our way. Young hustlers.
That's right.
I think that's important. I know that's not really on topic for today, but what are you guys doing to manage your funds, your revenues?
So for me, it's been a learning experience over these last 2 years. Prior to this business, I was pretty successful in another business when I lived out in California, out by Bryan, and I was making more money than I'm making now, actually, and I blew it all. And then I went for like 2 years trying to start another business where I completely failed and lost money. So then I moved to North Carolina and kind of started over pretty much after making a lot of money, then blowing it all, and then losing money. So now it's been a learning experience. So now for me, it's hiring a CPA and a bookkeeper. So it's been pretty haphazard these last 2 years, and now I'm finally getting the systems in place to be on a better path towards that.
So let me get this straight. You don't do your own books or your own taxes, AJ?
Do I do them?
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy. Why would you not do your own?
Why would you do your own?
I'm totally joking.
I thought you were being serious. I was like,
No.
I know we've had this conversation before. Like, did you change something?
No, that's what's. I mean, I don't know what you pay for your account. I'm $475 a month just for my accountant.
Dang.
And it's the best. But, you know, he thinks he runs 3 sets of taxes for 3 different, you know, personal and 2 businesses.
Yeah.
He does books on both of the businesses. He does a monthly CFO meeting, right? You know, it's like you get what you pay for, and if you're just doing like a TurboTax sort of thing, I mean, it's just a lower mentality. You know what I mean? It's like why do people pay me thousands of dollars to sell their house? It's because they expect a top dollar result. And why would I not trust one of the largest parts of my life, my financial world? Why would I not trust that to an expert with tax law and books and how to actually save money through taxes? It's not called tax evasion. It's called tax reduction. How do I keep as much of my money and give as little to them as possible?
And I like what you said about monthly too, because what I've been doing is I'll hire the CPA at the end of the year, but really your tax savings occur over the course of a year through tax planning, and that's what the CPA helps you with. So my failure to plan to hire that CPA that's really a part of my team, as opposed to kind of, you know, just that outside guy that comes in once a year, especially in our business when you need to be paying quarterly taxes, you got to get that guy that's monthly, basically on a retainer like Colton has. So that's what I'm putting in place right now.
And not only that, but, you know, when you get that when you start earning hundreds of thousands of dollars, you start getting sometimes a weird letter from the state or the IRS, like this or that, and it's like, if you ever seen one of those IRS forms before, it's like I literally want to yank my teeth out because I have no idea what one word on there says besides the word I owe them money or something, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to just take that and scan it in and give it to my accountant, my CPA, and let him deal with it, it then allows me to focus on what I'm good at, which is selling real estate.
Yeah.
Instead of spending freaking 4 nights of my week just figuring out crap Googling stuff, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
And that brings up another point, you know, stop cutting your own grass. You know, I don't even get my own groceries anymore. My grocery store, I literally pull up and someone brings them out to me. It's the best thing ever, and it's like
Dude,
$100 a year.
how do
Like,
you do that? What is this grocery store? How does that
dude,
work? That would be awesome.
it's the express lane at Harris Teeter. So I know most places don't have Harris Teeter, but it's like a Kroger or BC probably has Vons out there. But it's new, man. And it's awesome. We don't go in. We order online and pick them up. So just little things like that you need to be doing to leverage yourself. I mean, before you hire an assistant, I mean, I'd hire out, your dry cleaning, obviously, your housekeeping, your lawn maintenance, grocery pickup if possible, all those little tasks. That makes your life a whole lot easier, so you can focus on selling too.
Especially if you have kids, man. I tell you what, before we had a housekeeper and I would come home, I was like, oh, I wanted to freaking punch someone in the eyeball. Dude, my daughter, every little Cheerio then was into like 100,000 pieces. Just, now I got a house cleaner and a Roomba. So what else do I need?
Yeah, the Roomba's awesome.
Love me a Roomba.
Yeah, you come home and your house is vacuumed from your Roomba.
Yeah, it's funny. Earlier I was talking to my wife on the phone, and she's like, I don't know what she was doing, and she said my daughter asked if I wanted to talk to the lady. The lady is the house cleaner, the lady that comes and cleans her house. The same exact time she was cleaning her house, Mauricio was mowing the lawn, taking care of the lawn care, just right after we had our snowstorm. Good idea, Mauricio. He's my lawn guy. He knows what's up, not me. But guess what I was doing? While that was happening, I was driving to go to the gym, right? So then I don't have to choose my lifestyle, because that's bullshit if anyone out there says that it's therapeutic to mow lawn. I don't know anyone that really believes that. Mowing lawn sucks bad. Worse than doing the dishes, man.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, last Sunday we had some nice weather here, so my neighbor across the street, literally, when my wife and I left, they were mowing their grass. And then we went to the dog park. We then walked our dogs, came back, had lunch. He was now washing his car. And then that's another thing. Don't wash your own car. Take it to someone that can detail it. And then we came back, had lunch, and then we took our jet ski out and came back, and he was still doing some stuff in his front yard. Literally, his whole Sunday was spent doing those tasks. So it's like, if you're going to work extremely hard during the week, you need to take some time on the weekend, enjoy yourself rather than being stuck in the yard all day. It's going to pay off in the long run, just spending that little bit of money to hire those tasks out and go enjoy your life.
Plus, if you go to the car wash, you're actually conserving water versus just wasting it in your yard.
That's true.
So we're going green as well.
That's true. And employing people.
And employing people. And here's the breakdown of it, though. I know that to mow my lawn is going to take him probably 20 minutes to do it. He's got one of those 0-degree turns, whatever, flip around really quick things. He edges it. He'll be done in 20, 30 minutes at the most, okay? And I'll pay him $35 per week. So that's maybe, I don't know, what does that equal per hour?
For you?
So yeah, if it's $35 and he takes a half hour to do it, he's probably
$17.50 an hour.
$17.50 an hour. Okay, so I could pay $17.50 an hour to do it, or I could go prospect at $450 an hour.
Exactly.
Which makes more sense.
That's it, man.
How much is your time worth? I guarantee you make a lot more money meeting with a listing customer than you do trimming your yard up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You make way more money. I mean, even if you have the worst ratios on planet Earth and you're cold calling, you're still going to make like $20 a contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I can't remember what mine is. I think mine's like $50 a contact or something like that. One person I speak with. So I go talk with one person that mows my lawn.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm on the same boat. It takes me 2 hours to do my grass. I pay my guy $35. It's a beautiful thing.
Plus, the whole time you're mowing it, you're like, dude, this frickin' sucks. Why am I mowing it?
Well, and my I call him I guess a weed eater, or I don't know the proper name for him, but mine's electric, so I gotta plug it in, and it sucks taking that thing around with an extension cord, man. It's not even gas. So that thing's like miserable to use. It's miserable to use.
Bryan's like, you guys have yards? What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a East Coast Midwest thing.
So what What else? We've hit
Well,
quite a few roundabout topics.
yeah. What I was going to suggest is, you know how every week we pick a topic. Let's maybe take some questions from what people are saying and maybe take one of them and use that as a topic for the next cast. If we're getting a lot of questions, maybe we can pick one and talk about that on the next one as one of our topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or what topics would they like to hear? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while people are doing that, you guys can start putting that in the question box. But one thing too with your big why, it's good to have your big why and establish it and write it down so it's very specific. But also you got to kind of reverse engineer what is it going to take you to get to your big why, and then you kind of connect those dots on a smaller level. So you want to break that. If it's a 5-year goal to have a house on a lake, well, what is that going to look like? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do this week? What do I need to do this month? And along that journey, it's good to set small goals. Like last year was to get a jet ski. So I said if I prospected this amount of hours, took this many listings over the course of, I think it was 3 months, so over the course of a quarter, then I would buy a jet ski. So it's that short-term motivation to help you get to your big why at the same time. And that's worked really well for me, just connecting those dots to something that I really enjoy.
Yeah. For me, what I enjoy is traveling. I would like to ultimately be in a spot where I'm running a 7-figure income business from Costa Rica. I don't know, maybe Bangkok, Thailand. I really like Bangkok. It's a cool place. Or Phuket, Koh Phi Phi, Hawaii. Dude, seriously, think about it if you could run a business like that. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That's my goal, man. I'm with you. I love nice toys, but I love travel just as much, man. I'd love to be remote for a few weeks, and you can do that. There's if any of you people, well, I know you two follow Mike Ferry's stuff a little bit, and have seen some of the people that do well in his company. But Karen Bernardi, she goes to out of Boulder, Colorado. She goes to somewhere in the Caribbean or South America where her daughter lives, like an entire month out of the summer, and still runs her business. Like, that's pretty cool. You just get a satellite phone. I love that. I'll do that
What about that dude? Was his name Hal or something like that? Remember when I went to that production retreat with you? Not this year, but the year before.
Yeah. Are you referring to the guy who took the trip around the world?
Yeah. What was his name?
His name is Hal Swayze.
Oh yeah, Hal Swayze.
Luis Obispo, California.
He took was it 9 months or a year and traveled the world with his wife and kids.
Yeah, I think it was a whole
cost
year.
I think he said $180,000 to do it, and he just set his business up to where he could take that time off and just go travel the world.
Yeah.
I think he was doing probably $1 million plus a year, if I remember right, like 1.4, 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, and when you're at that level, it's not what the trip costs; it's what you would have made if you were there the whole time. Because I know in that instance, his business didn't run like it would have if he was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it's to be able to then just make that choice to not be anchored to what it is you do. So if that's what really this is all about, is to take this idea that you have and put it into reality. If it's to work in Costa Rica, if it's to have a second house in Arizona, if it's to travel the world for a year, right? Whatever that is, to be able to create that. Create a 7-figure income in real estate, to take 10 listings in a month, right? Which, by the way, suckers, I'm already at 7 this month, you little punks. Where you guys at?
You're killing it, man. My April is great for getting stuff under contract, but my listings, I think I took one the first week, and that's it for this month.
Two for me.
Nice, dude. I've taken twice what you guys have together, combined.
Yeah.
You guys can learn some from the old hustler.
But I will say, the Grandpa Hustler.
Grandpa Hustler, that's what it is.
I will say I'm on track with my listings taken for my yearly goal, so I'm feeling good about that.
That's cool. That's a good spot to be at, and anchoring those listings to the house on the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what it boils down to: is get creative in what's possible, right? What is it that you enjoy, or what is it that you like to do? And for me, like last time I think even with the World Cup or when I was in Bangkok the last time, is like, it's not necessarily like being in Bangkok or being in Brazil that I loved so much, but it was the experience that I had in those particular cases, my wife and then my wife and daughter, right? And so you can have those same experiences right here, whether it's taking off on a Sunday afternoon, hitting the lake with your jet ski, right? You can have the experience. So it's the experience that you really, really want. It's not the destination. It's not the end result. It's that journey in between.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we love just taking, day trips into the mountains and hanging out there, going for a hike and having dinner, being back.
Do you guys take cornbread with you? You look like you'd have cornbread for a snack in the mountains.
I love cornbread, but usually we just take some granola bars, and then we usually have a nice dinner because there's some nice cities in the mountains around us.
All right.
Restaurants.
Maybe consider the cornbread. That'd be a delightful little snack.
I love some cornbread.
Let's do this. We got quite a few questions stacking up. Are you guys okay to head to some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds
Here's
good.
a question from, I don't know how to, Ruiz. I don't know if that's his name. It just says Raynin@AOL.com, Ruiz. Is it really necessary to self-promote yourself and/or to accelerate your real estate business into the market of multimedia like Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, and others to speed up the progress of the in an economical sense? What do you guys think?
I think as a new agent, you definitely shouldn't spend that much time on it. But I would say if you're selling in an area where you grew up, to post frequently on your Facebook of things that you're doing in real.
I lost you, AJ.
And then your friends that you grew up with and people in your community are going to see that, know you're in real estate, and contact you through Facebook. So I know that's highly successful, but especially being new, do not spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. Yeah. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's something you can automate, but you shouldn't spend maybe more than a half hour a week on it, I would think.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, all the posts that I put on Facebook, 75% of them are my assistant posting them anyways. So, yeah. Okay, here's one from Blake Scroggins, and I'm not sure if this is a question or a statement or he's confused. He says you can't make $300 an hour, 15 hour of work. I'm not even sure what that means. Does anyone else? Can that be interpreted? I'm not sure. Just says can't make $300 an hour doing 15-hour work.
Oh, I think what he's saying is you can't make $300 an hour doing $15 an hour work.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. You can't do that. Okay, so maybe that's a great thing that Blake brings up. So maybe what are the things in your business that you're doing that you could pay someone $12 to $15 an hour depending on the going rate in your marketplace, right? Putting a sign and key box up is one darn thing. Posting stuff on the MLS, or even if you're to the point where you are using social media, getting your files in order. I mean, all these things are busy work that you should be paying someone to do, and then you're thinking, well, I'm not to that point. Okay, well then schedule your time to when you're going to work that $15 an hour stuff, and then schedule the rest of your time for when you're going to do the $300 to $400 an hour stuff. Focus on the 20% that makes you the 80%.
Right, and what I was saying earlier too, if you're not to that point yet where you can't hire a part-time assistant or a full-time assistant, start outsourcing stuff around your house like that lawn care we're talking about. You don't have the liability of someone depending on you for a job, and it's a very small sum. Get a maid, get a landscaper, you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's a
start. Here's one that's simple. Start dry cleaning your clothes versus having to wash them and iron them and freaking hate your life that way too.
Yeah, I hate that. Ironing's the worst thing ever.
Oh my gosh, dude. So grateful I've never done it before. Okay, Matson and Associates asked, how common is it after you set a listing appointment that the prospect will cancel the appointment?
It's pretty rare for me. I cancel on them more than they cancel on me. If I set 2 appointments, I go on 1, but it's usually because I'm canceling it because of lack of motivation or unrealistic expectations during the pre-qualification script.
Yeah. Bryan.
It was how often do they cancel on us? That was the question?
Yeah.
Rare. I mean, it's like AJ said, I usually cancel it from a pre-qual. I rarely get somebody calling me and canceling back. if there's one category that does it more than others, it's probably FSBOs.
Yeah, FSBOs for sure.
Yeah.
I bet I've got 60% cancellation rate when it comes to FSBOs. Maybe even more this year because they freaking sell before I get to them.
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot.
One thing that I have done, because I have a pretty high cancel. Well, I shouldn't say. I bet probably 15 to 20% cancel on me, and then I probably the rest. I mean, I bet 60 to 70% of the appointments I set, I will not end up going on. And of those that are canceled, that 60 to 70%, 15% probably cancel on me, and the rest I cancel on them because of what AJ says. They're not qualified or they're not whatever. They're not. But one thing that I've done to really reduce them canceling on me is to get the pre-listing package out the same day that I set the appointment or the next day. I don't waste time getting that out. Get that pre-list packet out as soon as possible. Here's a question from Greg Spackman. What's up, Greg? Part of the Fearless Agent movement. Glad to have you on. Do you just call in the morning, or do you still call after, say, 1 p.m. if you didn't get an appointment? Bryan.
It really depends. If I don't have any appointments in the afternoon, I will usually do it again. Of course, morning is the go-to time, but if I do it again in the afternoon, I usually block it out from 3 to about 6 or 6:30. And one night a week now, I'm probably going to implement the second one. I'm going to start calling expireds or just random circle prospecting from about probably 6 till about 8, because I'm noticing I have to make a lot more colder contacts now as opposed to for sale by owners and expireds to really keep my volume up. So I need to add that extra little bit to push me over the hump.
AJ, are you experiencing a lot of having to make colder contacts in this market?
I mean, not really, to be honest. For me personally, I cover a pretty large area, about 45 minutes, and within that area from the last 3 years, I have old expireds that I'm still running through. So I do a lot of my prospecting to old expireds right now, and I'm mixing a little bit of circle prospecting, not too much though.
I've noticed as many as even as big as my database is, I've been having to make a lot more contacts. I think this week alone I've done over 200 contacts. Definitely a lot more for me. So yeah, I think the right answer is prospect in the morning, because that's when you know you can get it done. It's like it's the most important piece to your business. But if you don't have an appointment, yeah, go to work. If you want to hit your goal, go prospect more. I think that a good way to shake that up is get out and knock the doors in the afternoon, unless you're like Bryan and you're knocking at 7:30 in the morning already. For me, it's just like a good way to get out of the office, go knock a few FSBOs and expireds, and you might not get anything, but it shakes up the lack of appointment, and it stirs your positive energy up. So
yeah, preview homes in the afternoon also if you don't have an appointment. I've been doing that a lot more lately, and I guarantee you if you pick 3 or 4 homes and you door knock 15, 20 around each, you'll get one lead. I've been getting almost 1 lead consistently every afternoon because everybody wants to know about the house, how much it's going for, and the details. So you'll get somebody who's thinking about selling, I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just think, what is your 20% that creates the 80%? Number 1 is lead generating, prospecting, getting qualified appointments. And so I don't think there's anything more important than doing that. And if you don't have an appointment, you need to go get an appointment. Oh, here's a great one. Ann Banos asked, got on late. Is this recorded? Did you guys record this one? I didn't record it. Did you guys?
It's automatically recorded, isn't it, Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm totally goofy. Yeah, it is recorded. Sorry, my jokes, see, when you become a grandpa hustler, your jokes just become stale, apparently.
You got all the jokes today.
AJ, this might be one for you. I don't know if you've done this or not. Have you guys used Zillow's Make Me Move in your prospecting? That's from Matson and Associates.
Yes.
Yeah, Bryan has. I haven't.
I thought about it once, and then I'm like, that seems like a lot of work to me, and I still hate Zillow, so I don't want to participate in that crap. No, but that is a great place, though, I would think.
Treat them like a FSBO, kind of like a pre-FSBO. I just dig for motivation, and I listed one The last one was about 3 weeks ago, and yeah, it was pretty easy. The guy was very receptive when I called him. I called him first, couldn't get a hold of him, went to the door, set the appointment on the first contact, and it was honestly almost a laydown. And he just was waiting for the right agent. So some of the make me moves will waste your time, and some of them are good. You just have to find the ones that are motivated.
So do you knock their door or do you call them?
Both.
Greg Spackman, new question. Do you call after 5 p.m. if you still don't have an appointment?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I've actually probably got lazier in this than I used to. Usually it's because I've got appointments, but yeah, I definitely would call probably from like 5 to, I wouldn't even do more than like maybe an hour personally just because I want to go home and be with my family, but just get on the phone and knock out. And you know what? That's probably the best time to do two types of calls, expireds and just cold calls, I think are the best time.
Yeah, I mean, when the sun goes down here in the summer at like 8:30, sometimes I door knock expireds at 7:30 or 8 because the sun's out. It looks like it's 12, and if I can't get a hold of them, I want to go. If I have to go at 7:30 or 8, so be it. I've gotten a lot of listings that way, and I remember one of them was like, I honestly wish my agent was working as hard as you. You showed up here at like 7:45 p.m., and just the fact of me showing up that late to his house, he was impressed, and I ended up getting that listing, and I sold it in like a week. So just putting yourself out there works. I mean, I know a lot of people message me all the time, you're crazy, you go too early, you go too late. Hey, it gets business. So if you're coming from contribution, people are going to be happy.
And a lot of it too is what are your goals? If you're behind on your goals, then yeah, get out there in the evenings and prospect. But if you're hitting your goals and you want to go home and hang out with your family at 5 o'clock and do that. If I'm behind, yeah, I'm working extra. If I'm on track, I'm going home early.
Yeah. Greg Spackman also wrote, oh, where did it just go? So funny. He says it's about the destination, Vegas style Charlie Sheen or something like that. So yeah, I guess you could make Vegas the destination. What's in your pre-listing packet that you send, Jason Young?
We answered this last broadcast, right? It's pretty simple for me. Testimonials, pretty much the comps, the contracts, any information about me, track record. And like AJ said, I do the email sometimes. I'll do a video, like a personal video. I think that's a touch that a lot of people don't do. Like even if I'm prospecting and I get somebody's information and they don't set the appointment, I'll still shoot a quick video most of the time and send it to them. And it's those little differences I think that will help cement you in somebody's mind.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did answer it last week. Simple. I put in some testimonials. I put in, even though Bob tells me not to, I put in my comparables, the listing contract, my track record, but I make it look really professional and nice. And what I found out is most people don't even look at it, but it's just the fact that I gave it to them that they really like. There's one part that they do look at, and that's a net sheet. I put the net sheet in. That's all they ever look at, really.
He's right.
On your net sheet, are you putting in 3 scenarios, or are you just doing 1?
It depends on. Sometimes I'll put 2 scenarios at the most, but I don't put 3.
Yeah, I usually put 2 or 3 normally.
Yeah, I think in this market it's a good idea to at least do 2 because if you kind of maybe pigeonhole yourself with one figure and they hate it, and you don't get the listing because of it, and then someone else gets it and it sells for more than that number that you put in the list packet because we're in an increasing market, I would recommend doing at least 2 or 3.
I've never had someone cancel on me because they looked at the price I suggested in my packet. I've had people say when I call to confirm the appointment, they'll say, hey, I don't know about this price. We're not going to sell it at that. And I'm like, okay, great. So it sounds like price is the first thing we need to talk about when I meet with you. It just like squashes that more than squash. I know what it is. Their objection's going to be that. And so I personally haven't had problems with it. I very rarely do I put 2. Not a bad idea, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I haven't had many people cancel. I've had maybe, I can think of in the last couple of months, maybe 1 or 2 people cancel because of it. But, I mean, it's more often than not, it's the same thing. I'll call and they'll say, well, we don't like the commission or whatever. And I say, great, we'll talk about it when we get together. Not a problem.
Here's a question from Leslie Gross. We just answered the first part, which is what is in your pre-listing packet. Okay, but also she wrote, are there any gals that would like to mastermind like the young hustlers are doing and watching? They can connect with me. So, might maybe put a post, Leslie, in the Fearless Agent group, and that would be cool to see, another mastermind group like that started that where others could watch in. So thanks for that share.
The Lady Young Hustlers.
The Lady Hustlers. The Lady Hustlers. Dude, you know what I want to see? I want to see a mastermind called the Cougars. The Cougars Mastermind.
That'd be awesome.
BC needs to record live door knocking. What? Is that a challenge?
I was talking today about doing that, actually. I'm going to have a guy, he does my photos and my video. I'm going to have him follow me around and do little clips, and we're going to probably do like a little series. So keep a lookout for that on my channel.
Nice. Here's a question from Bryan Kurtz, and I think this might be more directed to me. I don't know if you guys use the referral generator script from Fearless Agent or not. Are you guys actively using the referral generator script? What type of results are being seen from that? Yes, I am using that or a close variation of it on every single day. And really, it's not the call itself that generates the referral. It's the consistency of the postcards, the emails, and calling them. You'll just naturally get a text message or a phone. I mean, I got a text message this week from Spencer. His name's Spencer Lear. He's a customer of mine now, and he was referred to me from his dad, Mike Lear, who I've never met in my entire life. But I happened to speak to him on the phone one day, put two and two together that his daughter was friends with my wife, and so I put him in my database. 3 years later, he sends me a referral for like a $160 purchase. It's not a huge purchase, but so it's really just staying top of mind and training them to say, hey, if you hear of anyone thinking of buying a house or selling a house, would you even feel comfortable referring to me? You would? Great. I promise anyone you send my way, I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to treat them well. And most of all, I'm going to keep you updated so I don't make you look like an idiot. Right? That's really what that line is saying. You're validating that they're going to take care. And when you can just show that you can service people, then the leads will come to you. I get some. How often do you guys get a referral on the phone by calling your sphere of influence?
How many contacts or how often?
Yeah.
Both.
How often? How often when you talk to someone, like your referrals that come in from an SOI or past client, do they usually call because you called to generate that on the phone, or is it kind of a mixture of everything you do to stay in contact with them?
Mixture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely the mixture. Sometimes you'll get them. I've got them on the phone where I talk to someone, even the actual person themselves, and listed it the same day, but very rarely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a text message from AJ telling me to wrap up. So
Gotta go.
I got to wrap up. I didn't get to go through all the questions here. Sorry, guys.
You can ask a few more.
All right. Oh, yeah. Freaking the guy that's monitoring everything gives us a few more. Hey, when will BC and Colton be making more live prospecting calls to put on Facebook? Any chance to get a live door knocking video? There's another one from Christian Medina. All right. Maybe what we should do is just create a weekly prospecting webinar and charge people for it. Is that a good idea? Bad idea? Good idea? Bad idea?
I'm up for it.
I'm up for it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put another prospecting video on this next week. I'm really wanting to see Brian's door knocking video.
What we gotta do is get some hidden cameras to clip to our shirts when we're out door knocking.
Yeah.
I think that's what they want.
Bryan, you should create a door knocking mastermind where people just post their daily results, knocks, contacts, appointments, follow-ups, highlights of the day, best rejection of the day. Maybe that could be like a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Door knocking 101. What? Door knocking 101.
There's another one out right now that somebody added me to. It's not really that active, but I think it's called Door Knocking to the Summit. And there was a guy from like Oregon that door knocks a lot, and he kind of created it. You might want to look into that one, but it's dead right now, so I guess it would be a good idea.
I think I heard about that. There's six agents in that group, I think. I'm just joking.
We gotta get Colton off camera. He's getting a little crazy.
I'm getting out of control. Wilson, and I'm sorry, Wilson, I cannot pronounce your last name smoothly. Lung, I don't know. Leung. I totally slaughtered that. Wilson, what are your top morning rituals? Specific affirmations, journaling, meditation. Go back to last time's Mastermind, and we actually talked a whole Mastermind about that one. So is that okay, guys, if I answer it that way?
I can give you a new one.
Go.
This is another one that I recently started saying that I use, and immediately, even if I say it now, it'll make me feel better. It's every day and every way, things are getting better and better.
Yes.
Every day and every way, things are getting better and better.
Here's a good one to use, and it's not nearly a morning ritual, but it's a good phrase to put in your vocabulary. Money comes to me easily and frequently. Say that phrase a lot. Money comes to me easily and frequently. Here's another one I actually do is I have abs like Bryan Cassela. I have abs like Bryan Cassela. Okay.
How's that one working for you?
That's a good one.
Dude, it's crazy. Like all of a sudden I went from a keg to a six-pack in like a week. Amazing. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off at this point. I don't think I got to all the questions. Maybe I did. Thank you for watching. Let's make sure that you go to Real Estate Agent on Fire. Put your email in because AJ is sending out some pretty cool stuff. Even myself is amazed with what he's sending out. It's been so great. Go to, I don't know that Bryan has a website, but go to his YouTube. Make sure to subscribe on his YouTube and on AJ's YouTube. Also, you can go to my website, winningtheinnergame.com, get on my personal email list, subscribe to me. Next Saturday, I want to just throw this out. Next Saturday, the 25th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, that's noon Eastern Time, I am going to be interviewing Adam Bailey with the Just Do It Club. You guys might know him out of Wichita, Kansas. He's running a group of inside sales agents. They've got like 120 pending contracts. What would that be like to have 120 pending contracts at one time?
Crazy.
So make sure to check that out. Get on my email list. You'll get the invite. Any final words from you, gentlemen?
So?
That's it. Until next time.
Yep.
Hey, wait. Here's one thing, AJ. When are we launching the podcast?
The podcast we can launch anytime. We got some in the archives ready to go.
So I will make this commitment. This is a little commitment. By the end of May, we will have the podcast launched. Is that fair enough to commit to?
Fair enough.
That.
Also, how are you doing on your commitment of posting one video a day?
Well, like we talked about at our private mastermind last week about the quality over frequency. So
No, that's okay, bro. Whatever. I just heard you say I'm going to commit to one a day. I just thought that meant one a day is all. So I thought you would have one a day of extreme quality coming from AJ of how to enjoy and relax on the lake with my jet ski. That's what I want to see.
Well, it rained all week, man, so I didn't get out on my jet ski at all. It has been a little funk. Feels like Seattle.
That makes sense. I understand now. Okay, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate both of you guys and everything I learned from you. Not only that, but during the week, sending text messages back and forth, and I just appreciate being around highly successful people like yourselves, even if it is virtual like this. So thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, guys.
See ya.
See ya.